Hi, welcome to NDE TV. I'm Peggy Robinson. Today's guest is Anthony Chene, and he has the Anthony Chene Productions that has a lot of really cool NDE documentaries and interviews on there, and his films, they're amazing. And he's from France, and he's going to tell us about his new documentary. Hi, Anthony.
Hello, thank you for having me again.
So this
Uh,
last one took you 5 months, and I know you have the trailer for your documentary on your channel, and we're going to get it on here.
The doctors panicked the second that they realized that I had just died, but I was out of my body watching what they were doing down below to resuscitate me.
And it's very weird because I can hear every thought in anyone's head that is near me. But it didn't dawn on me that this dead body I was seeing was me.
I felt completely calm and I looked down and I said, if I'm up here and my body is down there and that man is calling code blue, then I think I just died.
The spirit comes from where one of the openings is. And I knew immediately it was my grandmother, my mom's mom. I looked up at her and I said, oh my gosh, I thought you died.
It's so hard to describe in words because it's a love that we don't have here. I had some darkness inside of me, and this love flushed it out, sealed it up, made it whole.
Everything came to light. Everything that had been shadowed was now revealed.
And then I was forced back. The next thing I remember, I woke up. I woke up out of a 3-day coma, being brain dead.
And I said into the oxygen mask, what just happened? I was up on the ceiling and I could see and hear everything.
I never had any thoughts about life after death, but every place I ever went, they were always the same thing. It's like, Dr. Moody, I've never told anybody this, but...
And doctors say it's just an hallucination, it's a dream, it's a side effect of drugs, though they keep silent. I have met people who have been silent for 50 years because they couldn't share it with others.
You remember those events for decades, and it's so ultra real, it's such a different mode of knowing that often people come back and think, well, if I try and tell somebody that, they'll think I'm crazy.
When you have a near-death experience, it is more real than the current environment that you're in.
Maybe we need some new way to investigate this kind of thing.
The problem with materialist science is their main approach to this has been to debunk and deny, to dismiss.
So it's hard to discuss with them because they're just full of their own dogma. They're frightened.
I am a skeptic, by the way, and I want to say that because, unfortunately, people who call themselves skeptics about near-death experiences don't know what they're talking about.
Death is like birth, a changing state of consciousness, but there will never be an end. It's eternal.
There's been many times in my life where I go into a deep state of hypnosis or a deep state of meditation, and I can actually get myself there again.
At the same time, it sort of focuses your attention on what it means to be alive now. What is it about us that survives?
You can connect to God at every moment of your life. God exists within.
The more one gets into meditation, centering prayer, and to doing good work to help change the world for the better, the more they start to realize they're not that little ego self at all, but something far grander than that.
The intention is that you would remember where you came from, that you came from God.
So it's nothing more than individual sentient beings going through this process of learning who they are, why they're here, and where this is all going.
The great I am is in your core. Even when you perceive nothing, still I am there. As I tell you this here and now, pressing my truth into your breast, your very heart presses it further in.
okay, so that was the trailer. The documentary will last a little bit more than 2 hours. And by the way, sorry for my French accent, like always. I know I'm making mistakes, English mistakes when I talk, but that's the way it is. I'm French, so
I
I'll do my
never
best.
notice any mistakes when you talk.
So yeah, so that's the documentary basically.
Okay. Are you going to continue making these?
Yes, I don't know if I will make more of these big documentaries or more interviews like I did before, but yes, of course, yes. It's always not a struggle, but always a quest, I would say, you know. You never know what the future holds, but we'll see.
Well, you know, I would like to see you get into movies, but I know that's not your thing.
No, that's my thing. What that would be my thing. I just don't have a. I guess I'm not really looking for connections, you know, in the business. So maybe I should, but it's I don't know. Making these videos takes me so much time that I don't really have the the will to look for people in the movie business. Let's put it that way.
Have you thought about hiring people to help you?
Yes, and well, you know, the whole process of making movies, you know, you have to find fundings, producers, networks. You know, it's a whole process, and yes, of course, a team of people working with me. So yeah, it would be maybe the next step. Yes, it makes sense. But
I found all those connections for you if you ever feel
yeah,
free.
why not?
I got everything set up if you want to
I,
venture.
I think it's the same for everyone. I think you know I just feel deep down it's a limiting belief. Like I don't deserve this, or I'm not good enough yet for
I
this
know.
next step. You know, it's like well, obviously it's not for me. I'm not ready. I'm just making YouTube videos and this and that. But it's just an excuse. You know, in the end, it's not.
It's scary to step out of your comfort zone
Yes, yes, yes. Of course, of course, of course.
and to see yourself doing things that seem impossible.
Yes, and also to make them in English because people often forget that I'm French since I never appear in my own videos. People tend to forget that, but I'm French and living in France. I'm in France, like in southern France right now. So there's always this mismatch between me and my audience also, you know. It's like I don't belong, you know, I'm somewhere else. It's strange.
I
But
see you overseeing projects and having people working for you, doing all the legwork and all the manual work that you put in, you overseeing that. I see you in that role, but
yes, I would
just
like.
me.
What my dream would be to hire people and to work with the very talented people in every single field, you know, the musics, the I don't know, the after effects, the actors, the whatever, you know, working with the best, you know, with people I want to work with, sharing a vision and basically doing really good stuff, you know. That's my goal. And also for this documentary, that was my main focus all this time, you know, to make something the best thing I could.
You
It's
did. You
it's a
did it.
mental discipline, you know, like day after day. It took me 5 months of editing this one, so it's very long, but I didn't want to quit, you know. I wanted to make something the best thing I could at this time. Maybe next year I'll say, oh, I could do this and that, but I want to do every time I want to do my best. It's very important for me because I've learned everything I did. Everything I do, I uh, I didn't do any movie school or anything like that. You know, I had to learn everything myself. So every project I try to improve myself. That's the goal. So I don't know why I'm saying this. I forgot your question, but
Yeah. Well, I had a lady on my show about a year ago, and we've just remained friends, and I didn't know at the time the connections she has and the background in TV and movies that she has. And she's ready to go forward. And I'm like, I don't know if he is. So,
Yeah, I think I am.
okay.
Oh, honestly, it took me so much energy to finish just this one, the one I just saw that sometimes my dreams right now, maybe I'm getting old, but sometimes right now my dream is just to get some vacation finally
You're not
to
even
sleep.
40 yet, right?
No, I'm 38, but it's like it's oh God, it's so much work. I want to I want to sleep. That's all I want to do right now. But and I know that people don't really realize the work behind these videos, you know, because the main goal of good editing is to forget that there is an editing, you know. The video, if the video is very fluid and smooth, it means that I did a good job. So people tend to forget that it's a lot of work actually.
You're doing the
Uh,
work of a whole team of people.
yes, because I have to cut costs the best I have to find the best way I can to cut costs, basically. Yes, so I do a lot of things, like almost everything myself, because otherwise the budget would be way too big, you know. I could not fund this otherwise. So but it's also good because it I have to find ways to be more creative, you know, with the budget I have. So it's a good thing.
So, I mean, where's the budget come in? I mean, because you don't pay any of these people to interview. I mean, you're editing on your equipment. I mean, it's just your time and
No, yeah, it's my time, but it's my time. I don't pay myself on this one, but it's also there are 6 guests in this documentary, so it means I had to do 6 different interviews in different locations each time.
okay.
So, and I'm in France, so to make it more efficient, cost efficient, I hire a filmmaker in every location, like Raymond
Okay.
Moody was in Florida, and etc., etc. So I pay a filmmaker to film Raymond Moody, for instance, and I ask the questions like that with a Zoom connection and a screen. So Raymond
Okay.
Moody is answering to my questions, looking at me in a screen, and I pay every one of each filmmaker for that. Also, sometimes I have to pay fees to some guests, if
Oh,
or I can propose fees sometimes because I think it's fair. It depends on the project, but for this documentary, it's well, it depends. Yes. Yes, about money. So what else? So yes, and 6 different interview shootings. It's already quite a lot for me. You know, it's not free, so it
okay.
costs me a lot. And also the other big cost for me is to pay for the stock footage. You know, the B-rolls you see, the drone footage,
Okay.
the musics, also the musics.
Footage. Okay.
Yes, I try to film some myself. I have some of the footage is from me, but I cannot do a 2-hour documentary with only my footage. So, and the 3D brains, the stuff like that, I have to pay for it. So it's
Okay.
yeah, it's adding up pretty quickly. So it's not a big budget. It's actually a very small budget for this kind of project, but it's still like almost like 15 $15,000 for this one,
Oh, okay.
to give you an idea. You know,
Uh-huh.
it's something like that, and I don't pay myself. You know, it's worked all the
Now,
time for free.
now I would assume, I mean, some of your videos get, million views or more that you're, supporting yourself through YouTube.
Yes, a little, but it's not it's not enough if you want to pay professional filmmakers and pay professional stock footage. It's not enough to pay for all this, especially if it's this for this one, this big one. I'm talking about this big one right now. The last one I did. Yeah, it's way too much work and interviews and everything to rely on YouTube. And that's I know it's a boring subject for most people.
Oh, I don't think it's boring at all. I think it's fascinating.
Yeah, but I think people they want to hear about these the NDEs, these ideas, and there is the behind the behind the scene, these topics about budget and money and stuff like that. It's not. I think maybe it's boring for me because it's. I did a business school, but still I don't really. How can I say it? I just like to create stuff. Basically, I like to make something good, to create something really the best thing I could. So that's my focus every day. I wake up every day and I go on and go on. And when because I have to think about money, obviously, like everyone else, and I still don't have any billionaire funding me. If people are
like the
asking,
rumor was.
yeah, the rumor, but it's just fund me and don't make rumors. And so no, I don't have a so it's a boring subject for me, the money side, but it's at some point I just have to think about it if I want to go higher and higher,
Yeah.
So I don't have any conclusion for this question. I don't know what to answer.
Did you take any film classes?
No,
Oh,
never.
okay.
I wanted to, like 2 years ago. I had this great idea of, I'll go to LA or I don't know which state, US state, and I'll do a big film school and this and that. And well, I don't know. But first, it's a lot of money. It's not free. This film school are very expensive. And I thought, is it worth it? I don't know.
Well,
Maybe
you
for the
already
connection.
made documentaries just as good, if not better, as some of those that's put out in a movie theater on near-death experiences. So I don't know.
I don't know about
You
that.
needed classes.
I don't know. I really don't know. It's not a. Sometimes people think I had a lot of comments on my last interview with you. People saying, "Oh, Anthony is so humble," but it's not. I don't feel I'm humble. It's just the truth, I'm just kind of saying things as they are. I cannot lie. So I just wish that this new documentary will help people, and I don't want to speak only I don't want to speak only to people who already know everything about NDEs and mystical experiences. I'd like this one and my other videos too to reach a broader audience, even people who don't really know about all this. I want them to know that there is nothing to fear about death, and it's not just hallucinations and stuff like that we always hear in the mainstream media, like it's a trick of the mind. And no, it's real, and there are other dimensions beyond this 3D world that we experience every day, and we are not who we think we are. It's the big. It's really important for me, to convey this.
It's a shame that people don't realize that these things
Yeah.
exist, and they probably even have it in their own life, but probably just pushed it off and thought that's impossible and didn't tell anyone.
Yes, but so it's very stressful also if you don't realize this, I think. It's like this life is totally meaningless. You live, you die, and then you're gone forever. You don't exist anymore for forever, for eternity, and it's just for nothing. There is no meaning to anything, so you can do basically whatever you want, because what's the point? It's very depressing also, but it's not the truth. It's wrong. It's everything has a deep meaning, and every life is important, and we are here for a reason, every single one of us. And there are other dimensions above us, and I think we have to build a connection with them. You know, we have to reconnect. It's funny because when I answered your questions, I totally forget why I'm saying what I'm saying right now. So I'm kind of lost every time
well,
at
no,
the
I
end of
was
my sentences. But
I was following your train of thought because it
no,
just
so yeah, it's important to remember that. Yes, to and also about death. Yes, it's very depressing. Also, if because we all lose people. You know, I told you in my email a few days ago that I lost a dear friend
yeah.
just when I was finishing the trailer, like 2 weeks ago or something. It was the friend who helped me when I was 17. He was the one who was helping me with his camcorder. You know, it was in 2002 with before the phones and everything. And I didn't have anything to film to start, and he helped me with that, and that's how I knew the first time I made a stupid teenager movie. But it was I just knew at 17 that I wanted to do that for life. You know? Even if I did a business school after, it didn't change my my will. And so this friend, mother, told me like 2 weeks ago, like he just died the day before. So it's really strange. It's a really strange feeling, like he's not here. I cannot reach out to him and send him anything. You know, it's really strange. Death is really strange, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And I know because I just know. It's not faith for me. I just know he's still here in another form and is out there in maybe another dimension. I don't know, but it's not the end of him. But it's still there is the physical lack, you know.
Mm-hmm. What's his
And
name?
Michal. He was Polish, but he was living in France.
Michelle?
Yes, Michal.
Michelle.
And it was such a synchronicity, you know, for me. You know, almost the very day I was finishing this project, this trailer and everything, the guy who helped me first realize that I wanted to do this. He just died almost the same day. You know, it's really strange, but
Did he continue to always help you or be there for
yeah, I think
full
so.
support,
Yes.
or?
Yes, I think so, and obviously he had his own life, but he was here also for that. I just know from my viewpoint, I know he was also here to help me. You know,
Oh,
maybe maybe I don't know what would have been, you know, my life without his without him, but it's still, you know, it was very important for me at the time. So yeah, death is really, I don't know, it's just a silence, you know. You lose someone and you know, it's just a silence. But I think it's we are beyond that, you know. We are not just the little ego and the little story and the body and the emotions and the limiting beliefs and everything. I think we are beyond that, and we continue to exist after this little story, this experience.
Was your friend your age?
Yes, it was exactly my age. Yes.
Mm.
He had health problems. So anyway, we all lose people. So that's life, you know. We want to forget it. I think we want to forget that we are going to die and we are going to experience grief. we don't want to think about it. But
What did he think about the NDE interviews you did?
he wasn't really interested about that, because after, like, for the last few years, he was living in Poland, and not in France. And so we had our own life, and I don't want to. It's the same with my family, you know. I don't talk about what I do with them, with people around me, because most people are not really, and even in France, they don't really I don't really want to talk about this kind of topics, you know. So I learned not to push it. So it's very strange, because I have emails from people who say, "Oh, thank you, your videos have helped me. Thank you, thank you." And I don't know these people, but they know my videos. But I talk to friends and family members who don't even know what I do. You know, it's really it's a strange life. You know, it's.
It's strange how it's still like not accepted in France.
No, it's less accepted in France than in the US. Yes, for sure. But there is an awakening in France too right now. It's happening quickly, but it's not a good thing to talk about it still in the workplace or in the, you know. So people want to look rational, you know. They want to look like they're in control and they know what they're doing, but they just don't.
You got to keep your common sense when it comes to this stuff, because it
Yes,
can get
yes.
too woo-woo and out there.
Yes, yes, yes. Yes, it can be an escape pretty quickly, I think. Yes, yes. People can say, "Well, I'm from this planet," and or I'm Mary Magdala, or I'm Jesus, or I've heard so many things from so many people. It's scary sometimes, but
It seems
no,
like you
that's
too, like the UFO ET stuff is huge right now. All the NDEers are bringing that into their NDE, and
yeah, it's the trend.
yeah, it's a trend.
Yeah, I don't know.
The reincarnation stuff. Like I was told this, kind of push everybody's agenda.
Yes, yes, yes. And it's easy to lie, because I can tell you, well, I just remember I had an NDE, and people would say, yes, that makes so much sense. Anthony Chene had an NDE and this and that, and I would build up my own NDE, you know. But it's as for what, you know? My question is, why would people lie about this? You know, people tend to lie about everything, and even the spiritual stuff. You know, it's
Yeah. I knew a
it's weird.
famous NDEer that I caught her in so many lies, and finally I confronted her and she says, "What does it matter?" I'm like, "You profess to be a Christian and you're asking me what does it matter to lie? And lie constantly? Knowing you're lying, like, what's it matter? You're lying about your NDE, you're lying about God and heaven and Jesus and what you saw, and you ask me what's it matter? I didn't say all that, but I
Yeah,
thought
it's a very big question. Yes,
it
and
matters.
but why? Why would it matter? Like, I know it matters, but what would be your answer to that? You know, when she
Because
told you
if
this.
indies tell us anything, it tells us God is watching. And we have these life reviews are like our judgment day. And
Mm,
so many people are told, to be kind or to be nice, or that I didn't like that, or whatever our NDE, there's morality in it. There's lessons to be learned
yes,
in it.
yes, yes,
And,
yes, yes.
you know, if you see God and Jesus in your NDE, then you've got to believe in the Bible. And what the Bible teaches is, the Ten Commandments. And, not bear false witness is way up there. And to the thought of bearing false witness about God, Jesus, about God's kingdom, I mean, that's just, I can't think of anything worse.
Yeah, it's not good, but yes, but it can be depressing sometimes about how can I say? the state of the world, because it's true that most people seem to get away with it, with their lives, you know.
Mm.
You can make a huge amount of money, you can, I don't know, you can do whatever you want, and it's like, well, if I win, why does it matter? You know, I got what I wanted. And it can be depressing also for me to say, yeah, well, maybe he's right. Maybe I'm the naive person, you know, maybe I don't know. But I don't think so. I think, yes, I think what matters in this life is to have a pure intention. You know, you may miss your target, but if you have the pure intention and if you go through, that's the highest value, you know. And then you can miss, you can make mistakes, you can fail, but you still have the intention, you know.
And if you're not authentic, how are you going to know yourself? You know?
But I think most people in this world, they don't really want to know their real self. They just want
Guess
to
not.
shine, you know, impress
Yeah.
people, shine and pretend. It's so fun, you know. But I really hate it. It's the main thing I've hated in the corporate world, in finance and in banks and, you know, companies with people. It's the play, you know. You have to pretend, you know, when you, from the time you arrive in the morning to the time you leave your office, you have to pretend all the time. And it's like, I was like, well, at some point people will just, you know, as you say in English, break character, you know, say, okay, we stop pretending now, it's enough is enough. But no, everyone is always pretending. It's like it's a horror movie for me. It's like you just know everyone else is pretending just like you. Everyone knows it. So how come can you just pretend all the time? And it's so much pressure for me, you know, to pretend, and it's so boring also. So
It makes me think of the people that are deep in debt. You know, they got the fancy car, the fancy home, fancy jewelry, clothes, everything, and go out and show the whole world, look at me, how rich I am. But actually, they're so poor, you know, they can't
yeah, yes,
do
but
anything.
also I think also to be, how can I say, also it comes from the desire to be loved. I think, you know, we want to be accepted and loved. And it's true that in this world right now, you have to pretend a lot and you have to fake a lot to be loved by people around you. That's a fact. So people just want to belong, you know. So how can you do it, you know? Because you feel, at least myself, you often feel, how can I say, lost, you know, in this world. I don't fit in this world, you know.
It's crazy what people do to fit in, isn't it?
Yes. But I think most people, I do think most people are nice people, you know.
Mm-hmm.
In the end, you know, sometimes I get angry or this and that, but in the end, most people are nice. But we are just all the same. You know, we just don't know how to operate in this world, and it's perfectly normal. We don't know, and it's normal because it's not supposed to be like that. We're not supposed to act as if this 3D world is all there is. We completely forgot why we came here and who we are and where we are. We forgot everything. So of course we're lost. You know, it makes sense. So we try some stuff. In the end, it doesn't work, and we just leave this world, and that's it. we learn some stuff, and we start again.
Yeah.
It's a long process.
Yeah. I say when at 25, when I was in the white light, and I thought, gosh, okay, I'm dead, but I didn't make much of a mark on earth when I was there. Like, I didn't talk. I didn't let people know what I thought. I was just so quiet. And I just thought, even my kids were babies, they're going to forget me in time. It's just like I never even lived. And so,
Yes, yes,
when I
yes.
come back gradually and more as I got older, it's like we just gotta, shake things up when we're here. Let people know we're here.
Yeah, yeah. I think we all think life is way longer than it is. It's not that long. This life experience is not very long, but we all act as if we are going to stay here forever. Even myself. Even myself. When you talk to me about business school, not business school, movie school, or another project or movies or anything, I always think, well, later. Yes, of course, later in my future, later when, when maybe I'll leave this world soon, and I don't know. We all have to do with what we have to do at some point.
Especially
But
when you
it's
have a
scary.
friend die your age, makes you think.
Yes, it's really strange because I thought, well, that's it. This life experience just ended for him. So quickly, I don't know the feeling, that's it. Wow, it was so quick. I just remember, like, for me, it was like 5 minutes ago we were 17 and dreaming about some stuff, and just like that, it's over, this life experience.
Like that's all you get?
Sorry?
Like, oh, that's all you get? That's all I got?
Yes. And for me, if my life, if it was to end right now, I would be the same. Like, no. I'm just beginning, And I think we all think that, we have all the time in the world, and we'll see. And even for the loved one, or family, or loved ones, or or family members or friends, we don't see them. We don't really care. We say later, and then it's over.
It makes me think
It's
of Dr. Jeff O'Driscoll, who was there at Jeffrey Olson's accident, or he was one of the doctors there when Jeffrey Olson had his accident. And Dr. Jeffrey Driscoll later wrote a book called Not Yet, because he's an ER doctor. And I guess that's what so many of them, on their deathbed was saying, like, not yet. Like, I'm not done, not yet.
Yeah, I think it's a very scary feeling when you're about to die and you just didn't thought it was coming so quickly. It's like I don't want to die yet. But I think we all have a time, that is set up in advance.
Uh-huh.
I believe that. So when it's the time, and that's it. But it doesn't mean it's the end of ourselves. We still exist. We still know we exist, but not through the brain and not through this body. It's just another dimension, and it's another experience. But we still exist in another form, another state of consciousness. So there is nothing to be afraid of, but in this life, in this world, it's pretty scary because we cannot see our loved ones when they are dead. We cannot see them. They can see us. They always say in their death experiences, like, I was able to see them, to know what they were thinking and everything, but they couldn't see me. So we have to remember that it's not the end of everything.
There's an old country song that says, everybody wants to go to heaven, but nobody wants to go right now. The silly country song.
Yes, and I tried my best in every single video I've made, and even in this last big one, to not to make it sound like it's a nice escape, to have an NDE or any mystical experience. It's not an escape, because otherwise it would be like, okay, I have so many problems, I just want to check out, and that's it. I'm not interested, that's it, bye. It doesn't work that way at all. we are here for a reason, and everything, every single detail we experience has a deep meaning for the soul. So we have to go through this experience. It's not about an escape. It's very important, I think, to understand that, because otherwise there is this dichotomy between this life and a nice heaven, and everything is cool, you know. And so obviously we all want to go to heaven if it's the case, but it doesn't work this way at all. We are here to put the light in this world, you know, in this darkness.
Yeah,
That's
it
what I
seems
think
like
we
we're
are.
here to make the world a better place. You know, whether some do or not, I don't know, but
Yes, I don't know if what we can do with this world of honestly, I really don't know, but at least for me, I'm talking about me. I just, even if I don't make any difference, I just don't care. I will do it anyway. That's my contract. I sign a contract with myself. Let's put it that way. I told you last time, I'll do this until I'm no longer able to do it, until I collapse. Basically, that's the deal. So I'll keep going, and that's it.
that's all we can
Even
do.
if it's
Do it anyway.
yes,
Hmm.
yes, that's my goal, and many times it can be hopeless or exhausting. Let's put it that way, but I still find a way to go on, to do it again. And I feel, especially when I'm in front of the sea, you know, I don't live very far from the Mediterranean Sea. And when I see the horizon at the sea, I can feel the messages, how can I say, I can see them talking, I can hear the ideas of guys, or I don't know what. I can hear this. And it's always the same stuff. Like since last time, it's the same. It's don't give up and make more videos. For now, make more videos in English. Don't give up. Just do more. It doesn't make any sense for me most of the time, because I'm like, well, I'm in France right now. Like, what's the, you know, it's it's like it doesn't make any sense, but I just feel I have to do it.
You're chosen, Anthony.
Yeah, chosen to work. I think.
You definitely have a purpose, and you're doing it well.
Yeah, I don't know. I wish I would like to know more about what I have to do, but I really don't know. And I think it's the same for everyone, not just me. You know, it's very hard to know where we're headed. But what's really annoying me is this difference between where I am right now, France. I just love France, southern France especially. I really like it here, and it's my country. But I don't understand why I'm here, why I'm French, and why I always have to go on with American English people and making videos with them. I know it makes sense because I can feel it. I just told you, I know it. I want to go on, but there is a rational side of my brain. I don't know, that is like, I'm really not happy about this situation. It's like it doesn't make any sense. Why are you doing this to me? Just give me a green card, or give me a ton of money so that I can go. I don't know, but this situation is like so weird. Am I the only one thinking this? Like, if people who are listening right now, or maybe even you, I don't know, like, you don't think it's weird? Like, I have right now my French accent. I'm in France, and I do videos in English all the time.
We need to have patience. It's hard.
Yeah, well, anyway, I'm not complaining. It's not a complaint, I'm happy to do it, but it's like it's so weird. And intuition is often very weird when you have an intuition. It's always like it's so weird, but you have to follow it because they know better. I think there are guides or spirit ancestors or I don't know, angels or the higher self, whatever, but I think they know the plan better than we do. So we have to have faith. Even if we're French and we are doing videos in English all the time. But
What did you think of America the few times you came here to film?
well, I mostly went to the West Coast because I like the sea and the ocean and the warm weather. I'm a very simple guy, so I like the beach and everything. So of course, I went to California, and I thought it was pretty nice. Other than that, I don't know. I think American people, the same way than French people, I think they are very lost right now. Deeply, deeply lost. Angry, but it's not anger. Deep down, it's not an anger. It's just lost. It's like we have just no idea what we're doing.
Yeah.
Yes. It's a very interesting period of time we're about to live, I think. It's going to be chaotic, but also grand,
There's so much nastiness on our news the last several years that it just puts out a bad vibe.
Yeah, I try not to watch the news. Even in France, I don't really. I used to watch the news a lot when I was in finance business school, so more than 10 years ago. But I was angry all the time at everything, I remember, basically. And you cannot do anything about it. So
right.
It was very depressing. And it's also very boring eventually. It's always the same stuff, the same opposition, the same ideas. It's
blaming the same people.
Yeah, it's the same play over and over, the same bad movie over and over. The news is, for me, that's what it is. The same bad movie every year. And it's just, and that's why when I discovered these NDEs and all these topics, I was so relieved. It made so much sense for me. I thought, well, of course, this 3D world is not everything there is. Of course, there's something else. Of course, it makes sense. Otherwise, it doesn't make any sense. This world doesn't make any sense in itself. Right. It's obvious for me, like but it's just a tiny part of the whole reality. There is so much more, and we are so much more, and we have to access it to learn, to listen, and to access who we are. And it's not easy, but as I said, I think it's going to be also it's not just all dark. It's going to be chaotic, but also such a relief. I think that's what I feel about the future. But I don't really know why I'm feeling this, but I just kind of know it. And I forgot your question. I really don't know what I'm talking about. I'm just talking. Like, it's so weird to do an interview. I realize it's very weird to be the one interviewed, because it's like you're talking, and at some point you just don't really know why you're.
Well, I'm not worried about it because I know you're going to edit it how you want it. So
no, if you want, I can do some editing, but I think your interviews are like the last one we did. It's good to have this flow, I used to edit my video a lot at first. I had this choice to do a lot of editing because I wanted to edit myself out of the video, So if, like, for you, if you don't want to be in your own video, you have to do a lot of editing, because you have to hide yourself. So it's not that easy.
I don't
So
edit
that's
mine.
yes, because you don't have any problem with yourself in the video, and that's a normal thing. I'm the weird one because I don't know. It's like I just hate myself in like the video we did, my interview, the last one. I never watched it again. I just cannot stand
Really?
myself. It's yeah, I have
Oh,
a
I
big
enjoy
problem
watching
with
that one.
myself. Yeah, I don't know. It's maybe it's a thing. I don't know why. I hate watching myself. Even hearing my own voice. If I hear my own voice in a in a video, a family reunion or something, I just hate it. I just cannot stand my own voice.
Oh,
Yeah, it's weird, I know, but it's and so that's why I really don't understand why so many people, and especially in France, they love to be on camera, especially in France. They just love it. They want to do video after video after video all the time. They want to show themselves all the time. It's like, why? For me, it's so weird, like, do you have so many things to say? And why do you want to be all the time in a video, like to say what? And you don't have your own life, or I don't know.
first time
So,
I
yeah.
was on camera, we were staying at a campground. My husband was working in Wheeling, West Virginia, and two guys, one on each side of our camper, had killed someone. And the camera crews was out talking about this case, and it was a big deal because the guy they got in a fight with and killed was a college student in that town. And here we are, we're like the bad people coming in to do these jobs and on the pipeline, and they're trying to say we're all from down south. And so I was hearing all this on the news. And then so one day they knocked on my door, and I opened my camper door, and here's this whole camera crew, this news station. And I just stepped right out and I told them what for. I said, we're not from all down south. Where are you from? I said, look at all the license plates on these campers. You can see every state where everybody's from. And you're talking like we're all criminals. I said, I haven't even had a speeding ticket. And I said, you don't know these boys are guilty. I said, innocent until proven guilty. And I kept calling them boys. And so this was on the news, and people were talking about in the newspaper, and they didn't like it that I was referring to them as boys because, they're young men and they're supposed to be these murderers. And long story short, they ended up, they weren't guilty because one had fell and hit their head on concrete when his buddy propped him up to go knock on somebody's door to get help. And that may have caused his death instead of the fight. So, but it was a whole big, like, months long thing. And so that was the first time I just, was on camera. And I just like opened up my door and I just had something to say, and I said it.
Yeah, and you're very authentic, so you don't have any, you're not obviously you're not pretending to be anyone else, so you
Yeah, I just want to set the record straight. There was so much false things and hate and things being said that wasn't right. And I'm going to set the story straight. And ever since
yes,
then, I've liked being on camera because I feel like it's an opportunity to have your
yes,
voice heard.
yes. It was the same for me, like with your interview. Like it was I did it. I forced myself to do it because I thought that I was missing something with my own audience. There were people saying things about me or thinking some stuff about me, like I was American or I was rich or I don't know, but
They
it
said a
was,
billionaire hired you to
yeah,
come
well,
do these videos. You were
yeah,
working for a
okay,
billionaire in France.
well, great. I wish, but so it's yeah, so that's why I wanted to make the effort, like now for this new project, to make the effort to be here sometimes, to say, okay, that's me, I'm Anthony, I'm French, hello. And people say, oh, that's Anthony, I'm glad to discover him. And so people seem to be glad that I do it from time to time, so I do it.
And I didn't
But
realize it's pronounced Anthony because I say Anthony because that's how we say here, Anthony.
Yes, yes,
Anthony.
of course. Yes, sorry, I said the French
Yeah, I didn't
version
know.
of Anthony. Yes, because yes, I also have an American name, of course, but I'm French. So no, it's, in France they say Anthony. They say
Okay.
Anthony,
Oh,
but in America
Anthony.
it's Anthony. I never
Okay.
say Anthony. No, I cannot say that. It's too
Anthony.
much for me.
Huh.
I too much. I rebel against that. I'm French, so no, it won't be Anthony.
So if I
No,
ever meet you in person, I'll have to remember how to properly say your name, Anthony.
yeah, but it's an American name, so if
Oh.
people in America they can say in American because it's American. So I don't know if I forgot something I wanted to say about anything I do right now, but anyway,
Is there anything more you want to say about the documentary?
not really.
Okay.
I think people will with the trailer and with everything else,
Okay.
they will have their own idea, and
Okay.
you can check my YouTube channel, my website, everything.
So there'll be more of Anthony's documentaries and interviews to come.
Yes, hopefully, yes, I will do more. I don't know the pace or how many and this and that, but yes, I'll do more, and it's never ending. I think it's really funny. Like there is a way, but I discover the way step by step, but I just know there is something, ahead.